Hi guys, welcome back to Raptor's Garage, and we're back working on the green truck, a little Mitsubishi, and you never guess who's here. Chris, we're doing the wiring.
Right guys, if you follow us on Instagram, I've been posting a few pictures of what I've been up to back at home, because I can sort of get on with this while Paul's been doing all the hard work and the stuff where he gets like burnt welding and everything. Yeah, basically, so what I've done at home is we've got a new light set up. So we've got the roof lights, we've got the rear lights, we've got side lights, we're going to fit rock lights, which is something additional that the vehicle doesn't have at the moment. And because the horn didn't work, I've also put us in a horn button. That's all sort of, I basically built the loom for that. It's all wired up, ready to go. And then I've also built us basically a new fuse board. So we're going to run this 70 ohm cable straight to the battery in the front. It's kind of over spec, but you know what? Why not keep it so it's going to take anything we throw at it. Relays at the top to run all these bits and pieces. Separate fuse board now, distribution board. So we're going to have the outgoing to our devices. We've got the switch here, it's coming in from the switches, and then we've got a bus bar to run all our earths on. So we're going to mount that basically on this back wall here up high, so if we do end up flooding the car with water doing a river crossing one day, it's well out of the way. So we're going to take all these lights off, put some waterproof connectors on them, so if anything does break in the future we can just simply disconnect them and change them.
These are very sexy.
They're nice and they're green, so that's what they match. So we can't change the colour of the car, they glow green.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, and then basically this wire here means that the way it's set up is we can either have it so that when you turn the ignition on, we'll have a live which lights up the bottom lights here, or alternatively you could wire this into something like your light, so that when you turn your lights on, these light up, and then when you switch anything on, your top light glows as well. These are great. We've got these from Air On Board.
How did you manage to get a picture of this truck?
I know, that's what was great. If you check out the guys on Air On Board, it's a great firm. They've got hundreds of different switches you can have. But yeah, we actually managed to find pictures of this specific truck. I'm sure they based them on this truck we can use. So we're going to get these installed today. We're going to cut out all the old stuff. We've got to try and work out putting some new rear light clusters on, which Paul has bought, because these things are just scotch locked into the old stuff. To be honest, this is probably a lot more straightforward because this is new. We've also got to try and get our head around the old.
It's going to be a lot easier.
That's a mess. So let's get cracked on. That's why I'm wearing my glasses today, so I can see what the hell I'm doing.
Chris is having all the fun in the world now trying to get the old lights out. How awkward's that, Chris?
I know. Oh, picking position. Well, we've chopped loads of cable out.
Yay! More cable. And a million scotch locks. It's no fun, is it, this wiring?
There's just no need for it.
It was the world's worst wiring, I think. Go on. Love this wiring room, that's ace. You're going to have to build one for my truck, because my truck needs rewiring.
Just work out what you want on it, and
everything that's on now, but I want it wired properly.
Yeah. Oh, big massive great switch panel. Double switch panel of
We'll do it when we're re-chassising it, we'll rewire it all.
Yeah.
While everything's out.
Right. But probably still got sit.
But we might need that fog light, so don't break it.
Right.
Because we haven't got another one. Oh no! There's water in that one.
Right guys, so we're making progress. We've cut all the crap out and we've managed to work out on the original loom what does what as far as the rear lights go, where basically they're just scotch locked everything in. So Paul's now working on these new clusters. He's got some 7-core wire which he's now running back to what we know is the brake lights, indicators, etc. on the original loom. I'm wiring in the new stuff. So obviously these are the lights that are on there already. We've now got them covered in some nice plastic conduit to protect them. We've got these waterproof connectors on, which you just get on eBay for £3.50, but they're brilliant because, of course, you know, if you're going to buy these kind of Chinese spotlights, they're not always the most reliable things, but at least now if any of these break or we smash them on a tree or break them, we can just basically unplug them, take them off, replace them and whip a new one on. We've got some proper connectors, waterproof connectors to run through now through the back of the truck, and we're going to wire that all into the board once we get that in position. So we're making progress. It's just one of those slow things of fiddling about, putting little connectors on and connecting everything up.
Well, that's the rear lights done on the truck. They're not completely wired up yet, but they're in and I'm getting through the wiring. Chris is still beavering away inside there, wiring, and we'll just go and have a look what he's doing, eh?
Switches actually glow.
Switches actually glow, right, okay.
Switches glow and lights come on. There's a huge great pile of stuff you guys can't see.
I'll show them that in a minute.
Put it on Instagram all day long. There's stuff that we just keep ripping out because it's like all the centre console was so broken and knocked about, you know, we just ripped the whole thing out. But we basically got all our switches in. These all now work. We've just basically, this is our cable we're going to run to the battery, which we've just hooked up temporarily. Everything works. The fuse board is in. You can't see it. We tidy the cables up once we know exactly where these cables are actually going to get sort of pinned down and strapped. So we'll cut everything to the right size so it's a bit neater there at the back. Obviously, aesthetically, we still want to do some work on the back of the this kind of bulkhead and just tidy it up, maybe put some carpet on it or something like that. But at the moment we're just trying to get everything in. Paul spent an age, he's ripped everything that was going to be useless from the factory, the aftermarket kind of immobiliser, that we've cut all of that out, taken the stereo out, we don't even need that. Anything that's surplus to requirement has basically been taken out, and somehow he managed to work out how to cut all these wires and put them all back together so the engine started again. So yeah, so it's getting there. It's been it's one of those long, it just takes a long time, but we're making progress and things are actually working, and we're getting there slowly but surely. Hi guys, right, well, it's been a busy couple of days. It's Sunday now. Paul spent most of yesterday evening working on getting these rear lights actually lit up, because being sort of, you know, Chinese things, the wiring didn't match what it should be. But he's been busy, so he's basically now, we've got these two light clusters positions, which, you know, I think they're great, the way we've got them at the angle, so it kind of matches the vehicle. They're all working, they're basically all wired into the existing loom, which had been basically hacked into originally, and then Paul discovered that the actual loom it should be connected into was just literally chopped off. Because you've got to remember, the whole rear of this vehicle got chopped away at some point, but someone didn't spend too much time tidying up afterwards. He's moved the number plate. Remember, it was originally on the top. He's moved it down to here now, so you know that's great, 100% legal, really visible. Lights are both working. It's got the rear winch working and everything. Fog light on the back. We fitted some reflectors, and we're all good to go here on the back. Now I've been busy on the inside with all the auxiliary stuff like these extra lights. So I've been busy on the inside. So we've now got basically a separate fuse board which is going to run all of our auxiliary lights. It's going to power the CB, any USB charging points we'll need for keeping the cameras going and things like that. So we've got this mounted. We've basically got it tidied up. Obviously there's a lot of aesthetic stuff to make things look a little bit prettier, although it is going to be an off-road vehicle, so we're not going to go too OTT. But this basically now runs our, we've got some front-facing lights, some side lights, we've got some rear work lights, we've got a horn working again, and we've got one more thing, which is the rock lights, which we've just got to wire in yet, so if we are driving at night we can illuminate all of the four wheels. Paul has been busy on all of this down here when he was connecting up those rear light clusters at the front. We've thrown in some additional power, which we're going to run one of these to power a CB and one of these, as I said, to run the USB charger. The more we messed about with the centre console and all the plastic, it was so busted and broken that in the end we just scrapped it and binned it. So we'll do something here to tidy this up and kind of hide some of this wiring. We've ripped out the stereo, we've ripped out the pods with those various bits and pieces in on the top because we're not going to be needing them. So we're going to do a bit of checker plating, or rather Paul's going to do a lot of checker plating to make things look a little bit prettier, so we can mount our switch panel and mount the CB. We want to change the seats at some point, because this seat in particular, that we don't know where it's come from, but it is quite uncomfortable. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled for a set of, you know, Shogun seats going spare at some point. But yeah, it's looking a lot better than it did the last couple of days, because this was just literally strewn with bits of chopped wire that we've been cutting out. We've also taken the immobiliser out. Paul somehow managed to fathom how to disconnect that, and then we had no engine for a bit until he worked out how to reconnect everything and got it all going again. So we've got rid of a lot of the crap that we ain't going to need. And then finally, Paul sorted out these front wings. We said they were rusty and they're a bit knackered. We're not going to replace them. So what he's done is he's basically chopped that rust out and he's fabricated up these bits of checker plate, shaped them up, and once this is all painted in the same colour in the Raptor paint, he's going to look bob on. So it is really starting to take shape now. I mean, I can't believe the amount of work he's got done while I sort of am away during the week. But this thing now really is starting to look like it's ready to go. So we've got a couple of weeks left on the MOT of it. So we'll be able to get it out on the road just to try it out and give it a bit of a run. Then we'll get it MOT'd. And of course we're going to Raptor paint the whole thing at some stage. So it looks ready to go. Right, so Paul, what's left then? Because I'm obviously shooting off home for a week again. So what are you working on this week now?
Well, we've got to close up these holes, haven't we?
Yeah.
Make it watertight.
I don't know if you can see it from here, guys, but I don't know why you need this kind of like almost bullet hole sized. Well, it's a really big bullet.
I don't know. Someone's used an axe.
Someone's just literally bashed through it, haven't they? To run a
chiseled a hole in there.
So you're going to cover those up.
Yeah, there's some at the top where we haven't used. They've got to be filmed.
Yeah.
So what I might end up doing is actually putting a bit of plate on the inside and fiberglass in this and smoothing it off.
Yeah.
That might be easier. So seal it. I'll seal it.
Yeah.
I'll make it waterproof.
Cool.
We've got what have we got left?
We're both away next weekend on different ventures, aren't we? So
yeah. So we've got
a week. So at some point prepping all this for some paint, haven't we?
We've got to paint it.
Yeah.
Even if we just get the black done on the box side.
Yeah.
So at
got
least
a leak on the
diff. No, gearbox.
Gearbox.
So there's a gearbox seal, paint, and 4 ball joints. That's it. It's done.
Yeah.
Done all the brakes. Done the brakes. Done the handbrake.
Yeah.
Done the brake pipes.
Yeah.
Having a service. That's it.
Service. Yeah.
Service, and it's ready to go. Then
we're good to go.
Run it down, get it MOT'd, and
cool.
We're ready to go.
Brilliant. So we're going to bring you a few more videos, guys. It'll obviously be a full video of actually painting it. We'll go through the whole steps again of using Raptor paint because we know they're popular, and then of course we'll get plenty of footage once we take it out on its first run
and roll it over.
Yeah. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. As always, don't forget to click and subscribe. It all helps out, and give us any comments in the section below.
See you later, guys.